Hello, you're welcome to Family Aspects. I'm your host, Charles Brown. Now, today, I want to first of all thank every one of you that have been following us on our YouTube channel. You subscribe to our channel and you have been up to date with our videos. I want to say thank you. And those of you also that shared our videos with your loved ones, thank you very much for being such an impact and influence to us. Now, today there's an amazing question I want to actually, touch today. It's very popular question that a lot of couples, especially young couples or intending to be couples, are having to, look for solution for. They're questioning this around, and I wanted to talk on this and touch the just to give my suggestions on the question. And what's the question? The question is, how can a young couple best handle the inevitable challenges in their first 5 years of marriage? How can the couple best handle the inevitable challenges that come to them in their first 5 years of marriage? You may say, well, what do you have to say about that? The first thing is, I have passed that stage. I'm in my 8th year now in my marriage. So I think I have something to say in regard to this question. So that's one thing. That's the first thing that made me come up and say, okay, I could say something about this. Let me recommend something that I know. So that's why I'm here to share what I know. This is my recommendation. Now, it is not a legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a lawyer or something. But these are principles that I discover from God, and I discover that people have used successfully in their relationship, and I implement them in my marriage, and it produces results. So I believe these principles will work for you as well. So that's one of the reasons I'm sharing this with you. Now, we have some common challenges that relationships go through, especially from the beginning when they start, when they get married, when young couple are intending to get married, and in their first year after marriage, there are a lot of things that happen, a lot of challenges that they go through. Now, remember this, marriage doesn't promise paradise, but it is paradise. If you make one for yourself, you can actually make your marriage a paradise. But it doesn't promise you to be paradise all the way. The Bible tells us, especially when Paul was advising those who were married and who intend to get married, he suggests that people should not get married. If you're single, he says, stay unmarried, don't get married, because if you do, you're going to have many problems. People who are married have problems come to them. The Bible says they will have many problems come to them. Well, is it true? Was the Bible saying to us that we should not marry? No, he was just telling us to prepare. If an individual have a problem in his life already, how much more when two people come together? How much more when you have children joining the two couples? What do you think is going to happen? There are going to be a lot of problems at home. That's what he's talking about. There are different challenges and difficulties that marriage people go through. But if you're prepared, if you're ready, and with God on your side, you will be successful. And that is where we come in to help you understand what you need to know, the things you need to do, and how to prepare for this. So the question again is, how can a young couple handle the inevitable challenges in their first 5 years of marriage? You see, the common challenge that they will begin to face, that many young couples face, is one, there is not enough money to live by. So they have the challenges of not enough money. We don't have enough money, we're going to just manage. You see, you have that problem coming in. And then you have another problem of dealing with in-laws. You have in-laws issues. We have in-laws trying to help us make our marriage work. They try to interfere in marriages that is young. You see, so we have in-laws. try to invade our relationship. So we have to deal with that. You see, that's one of the conditions or challenges that we face. Then we have the challenges of growing up together spiritually. As young couples, let's say you comes from a spiritual background, which you should anyway. You don't get married to one who is not a Christian, because you're going to have bigger problems, dealing with things. So you want somebody that has the fear of God. As a man, you're looking for a woman that has the fear of God. The Bible says that it is only God that gives an understanding wife, and you need one from God. So you want an understanding wife. You don't want a wife that do not understand or understand you. You're going to be a problem. You see, it's a very important thing to know. Okay, here's the point. Growing up spiritually becomes a challenge, especially when both couples don't know where they are spiritually. There are stages where there's what they believe, or if they have differences in their belief. Here, this one comes from different denomination. The other one comes from another denomination. So now they come together as marriage. So they're like, okay, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? How are we going to grow up spiritually? That becomes a challenge as well. Then they find them going through the challenge of not understanding the role of a husband and the role of the wife. So they don't know what to do. They are married now. They don't even know what their roles are, what their responsibilities should be to each other. They don't know. You see, so that's a big challenge already on their own that will even lead to further, problems, and then probably there's divisions, and before you know it, there's divorce. You see, all of these things happen, and these are challenges. Even in the first couple of years that you get married, before the fifth year of marriage, all of these things can happen, and then you have the problem of finding, okay, what church are we going to attend? You come from there, so should we go to my church, or the other one? No, let's go to my church. So we have all of these challenges going on, and this can lead to a lot of argument, quarrel, and fight if it is not properly handled. Now, here are my suggestions. To help you handle your first 5 years experience, to be successful against those inevitable challenges that will come and attack your marriage, because they will definitely come. You will definitely have those challenges come. Guess what? There is no way out. You got to face them. But when you are equipped, it's like one who signed up to be in the army and he said he doesn't want to go to war. No, you want to go to war. You have to go to war, and then you be equipped for the war, train for the war, so you can win the war and be victorious. The same thing in marriage. When you get married, you sign up for a war, brother. You sign up for a battle. It's a battlefield for good if you know what to do. When you're victorious, you always have the rewards, the benefit that comes from getting married. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. So here are my suggestions that you will take with you to handle your relationship. Even though you already passed 5 years in your marriage, it can still apply, because these are principles. I am in my 8 years in marriage right now, and I'm still applying these principles as we speak. I'm applying the principles. So it's very important that we know that these things is needed. Number one thing you need to know. First, get a mentor. Get somebody to teach you. Learn from someone. You may not have him physically dealing with you. If you have one that is physically present to help you, mentor you, wonderful. If not, come on, get to read, study, find informations, books, seminars that is organized by those who are experienced in handling situations like this, who have records of success in their marriages. You want to learn. The problem we have with young couples or intending to marry couples that they don't even learn. A lot of people don't study. Before I ever got married, I have to read books, and I still have the books in my shelves. I have to read books, a lot of books on marriages. Maybe one of these days I'll share some of my books with you. Amazing. I have to study that to get me ready before I would decide to say, okay, I'm going to marry this woman. This is my wife. And then I had to prepare. And God helping me through the Bible. I studied the Bible, read some other Christian materials, and went to seminar. I was able to know what I was going through. I was going to enter and prepare myself for it. Now, that's very important. Get to know, study, get to know, get a mentor. Number 2, be committed and remain committed. Be committed and remain committed. There are many relationships around the world today that is lacking faithfulness. Many marriages, there's no commitment. The greatest challenge they face is a committed man or a committed woman. Why? Because, you see, to be committed is a discipline. You have to understand that you need to be disciplined to your commitment. When you got married, you signed up for a lifelong commitment for love, to love, and for forgiveness. You sign up to say, I'm going to love this woman, I'm going to love this man for the rest of my life. And I'm going to forgive this woman, I'm going to forgive this man for the rest of my life, irrespective of their offenses or offense that they plague you with, irrespective of their wrongs. That is the commitment. And you have to be and remain committed. Not to be and remain committed is to give room for doubt and give room for discontinuity in your relationship. That's where problems comes in. A lot of things comes in from there, not being faithful. Just not being faithful at all, you get a lot of problems. We have thousands of divorcees as a result of not being committed to their relationship. So be committed, stay committed, be committed, remain, be faithful. Yes, it's going to be challenging. That's why it's a challenge, but you can handle it. Stay faithful, you see. Then number 3, talk to each other always. We have problems with communication in marriage. Thousands of people that are married don't talk to each other. Most relationships, they only talk to each other when they need to quarrel, argue over things. That is not the way to survive a relationship. Listen, without communication, your relationship cannot grow. Your marriage will never grow. Actually, without communication, it is doomed for destruction. A marriage is doomed for destruction or headed for divorce without communication. Effective communication. Learn to talk to each other always. It's so important you talk to each other. Share your thoughts, share your dreams, share your aspirations. Talk about what you went through at work. Talk about what someone said to you. Talk, learn to share. You know, this is so important in marriage. It will make you come alive. It will help your marriage grow, and you'll be able to survive a lot of things. That's number 3. Talk to each other always. Then, in addition to that, men have to seek, listen to this. This is very important. With communication without understanding will not produce good, successful results in marriage. So you need to understand that you need communication. And then communication leads to understanding your spouse, your husband, your wife. Okay, for the man, the Bible says that a man should deal wisely, deal with their wife with understanding. Deal with their wife with understanding. That means relate to their wife with understanding. How do you relate with your wife with understanding? So that is a responsibility. So you have to seek ways to understand your spouse, your wife, especially if you're a man. Then the woman, you have to help your husband to understand you. A lot of problem that men have is because the woman is not willing to help them to understand who they are. So understand your wife, and woman, help your husband to understand you. This is so important. That's about communication. Talk to each other. Now, if you listen to my previous video when I talked about the biggest mistake that men make in relation to their wives and the biggest mistake that women make in relation to their husband. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you watch it, because in that video I explain the effectiveness of communication, the power of talking to your husband, and why your husband uses his ability of listening to regain your trust and build a oneness, harmony. This union, this intimacy begin to grow through communication. There's so much we can gain by just talking to each other. It's so important. So that is number 3. Number 4 suggestion I would like to give to you today is that you will be willing. Just be willing to live for each other. Be willing to live for each other. You know, the professionals calls it self-sacrifice. The Bible calls it sex sacrifice, self-sacrifice. Living not just for yourself, but for others. Learn to practice it with your wife and with your husband. If you're going to do it to other people outside your home, then you have to start practicing. Like the normal parable or proverb says, charity begins at home. People always say that charity begins at home. So start from home. Learn to give up all that you have for your spouse. Loving them beyond yourself, besides yourself. This is so important. Living for each other. Self-sacrifice. What can you give up for your wife? What can you give up for your husband? Are you just there just for in business for yourself alone? There are so many marriages, each one are seeking for their own. The wife is looking for what she can get and gain for herself. So she buys things, she buys land, she buys houses, she do things on her name for herself. She's looking for, she'll even have her own bank account on her. I mean, these are all for herself. The same thing with the man. The man doesn't share anything with the woman, and everything is on his name and just for himself. Learn to live for each other. Communication helps that happen. So be willing to live for each other. Then the last suggestion I have today on this video is this. You have to keep your dreams alive. Keep your dreams alive. You see, the power of living your dream can never be overemphasized. What I'm sharing, the things I'm doing now, these are my dreams. And I've been talking about this many years ago. If you check my video, 2008, 2007, I have been saying things like this. 2008, 2007, check my videos. You see some of my videos of 2008. I was talking about how to get into a relationship. I mean, I've been talking about this long time ago. You see, my dreams. And I shared this with my wife. And she shared her dreams with me. We talked about it. Every time we talked about it, it come alive. We see the need for each other. Remember this. Until you talk about your dreams with each other, you may never actually feel alive. Because dreams keeps us alive. Dreams keeps us alive. You see, it keeps us hopeful. You see, so talk about your dreams, share your dreams together, and then pray to God for God to give you guidance on how to help you to achieve your dreams and goals. This is so important. You see, with these points, and if you put whatever you face, irrespective of these challenges, with these points, these 5 points, if you practically put them to work, if you execute them in your life, in your relationship, you'll be amazed how easily you will overcome every challenge that comes your way without actually throwing stones and throwing bullets and fighting or, destroying. No, you don't need all of that. See, this is the way. You see, this is the way. Yeah, you may have time for moment of argument because you're still learning to understand each other. But if you put these things to work, you will quickly adjust and work your way out. And you'll be having fun with each other often and often, just loving yourself. Now, understand this. We don't always expect things to go all the way blissful. All right? We know challenges will come. But if you put these things to work, they will help you. So if you have a question, or maybe some of these challenges we talked about is what you're going through, I want you to make a comment if you want us to talk about it. You see, whatever challenge you're going through and you want us to do a video on it, and you want us to help on doing a video on it so that we can give you some tips and guide to help you, what Families Aspect is all about. All right, this is what Families Aspect is all about. So make a comment on this video and tell us what you want us to talk about, and we'll make a video right away. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification button on it. And when you do, once the video is uploaded, you'll be the first person to receive one of the first person to receive it. Okay, now I want to encourage you to share this video also. Share this video with your loved ones, with your relative and family, as many people you can reach with this video. All right, I believe you have been imparted and you have been informed. So I encourage you to put these things to work. All right, and give us a comment on the results that you are getting. So like this video. That's the first thing I will help you to, that's the only thing I want you to do for me. I'm not asking you to give me anything, but just like this video, make a comment on it, on what video you want us to do and how this has impacted you, and then subscribe to the channel, and then we'll have more videos coming your way, all the time. Every week we are on. Okay, thank you so much for listening and have a beautiful day.